give importance to my own thoughts and emotion. Tell me how. Please make me understand. I don't know when will I get this mic again. Although I am always in your presence, but I want the answer, Sadhguru. I don't want.
When you get out of this hall, start walking south. If it's a genuine question, if it's a question which truly matters, you must seek. I would have gone to the ends of the world if I found somebody who could answer the billion questions I had. If really it matters to you, the question, you must seek. If you think going south is the answer, if you don't think so, you shouldn't bother with me. If you think so, you shouldn't waste a moment of your life, because I want everybody to at least be straight and some basic integrity to your life. You ask big questions and you leave it and go and sit in the matinee show. I'm not saying you should not go to the matinee, I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong things, wrong examples.
That's fine, no offense taken.
So, I want you to understand, somebody came and asked me recently, Sadhguru, are you a devotee of Shiva? I said, you fool, did you ever see me sitting somewhere and doing Shiva Puja? Did you see me? My entire bloody life, I've invested in you, all right? There is nothing else I do except constantly seeing how to raise people to the next step. And you are asking me, I am a devotee to somebody, I am bloody devoted to you and you're not seeing it? So, when you ask this question, I take the question seriously, I believe you're genuine. But then you go and get drunk today evening. I'm not against any of those things, a matinee or drink or this or that. All I'm saying is, you must have some integrity to your life. When you ask a big question, you must make the investment, isn't it, of time and energy? You must invest life. Because to bloody answer this, you invested my entire life. Yes.
Question is, Sadhguru, I'm stuck here and I want you to please guide me. Tell me in a child's language what is the answer and what is the solution. I don't want to give importance to my own thoughts and emotion. Tell me how. Please make me understand. I don't know when will I get this mic again. Although I am always in your presence, but I want the answer, Sadhguru. I don't want.
When you get out of this hall, start walking south. If it's a genuine question, if it's a question which truly matters, you must seek. I would have gone to the ends of the world if I found somebody who could answer the billion questions I had. If really it matters to you, the question, you must seek. If you think going south is the answer, if you don't think so, you shouldn't bother with me. If you think so, you shouldn't waste a moment of your life, because I want everybody to at least be straight and some basic integrity to your life. You ask big questions and you leave it and go and sit in the matinee show. I'm not saying you should not go to the matinee, I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong things, wrong examples.
That's fine, no offense taken.
So, I want you to understand, somebody came and asked me recently, Sadhguru, are you a devotee of Shiva? I said, you fool, did you ever see me sitting somewhere and doing Shiva Puja? Did you see me? My entire bloody life, I've invested in you, all right? There is nothing else I do except constantly seeing how to raise people to the next step. And you are asking me, I am a devotee to somebody, I am bloody devoted to you and you're not seeing it? So, when you ask this question, I take the question seriously, I believe you're genuine. But then you go and get drunk today evening. I am not against any of those things, a matinee or drink or this or that. All I am saying is, you must have some integrity to your life. When you ask a big question, You must make the investment, isn't it, of time and energy? You must invest life. Because to bloody answer this, I've invested my entire life. Yes.
Question is, Sadhguru, I'm stuck.
When you meditate, your mind becomes still. Still means no movement. Stillness means that when you do meditation, try not to move. Learn to bear it. For example, their legs hurt or you feel uncomfortable, bear it. Don't scratch. The easiest mistake is you scratch your nose. You notice that? Don't move. Resist the temptation to move physically. And how do we move physically? Because the thought arises, oh, it itches here. Oh, it hurts here. So the movement is preceded by a thought. So movements are driven by thoughts. And therefore, in the China world, in the meditation world, the nature of the way we function is that we're driven by our mind. So in order for us to move physically, a thought has to arise. And therefore, when we talk about movement, it's not just physically. Physically, it's too late already. Stillness means no movement of the mind. When you meditate, you might
Headfuck, I feel like you don't really get what's going on here and what we're doing here. That the teachings are not really reaching you. The intimacy and the vulnerability of this space is not really reaching you. I would encourage you to change your username, Headfuck, because that's not an appropriate name in this space. And this is a confusion I think many people get, that I am their friend, or that I am their pal, or I'm just another person live streaming on YouTube. But that's not what's going on here, actually.
people, it's a natural part of life for them. And this is why the Buddha is very insightful. He called our world, his Buddha land here, the Saha world. Saha means can endure, capable of enduring.
Really?
Able to endure. So meaning that the people here, all the living beings here in the Saha world have this very interesting characteristic. Our ability to endure is enormous. We can endure depression. We can handle depression. And we don't realize that we're also spreading depression amongst the people that we care most about.
This is the miscommunication, Headfucker. Because it will be difficult for me to understand you. There are not many opportunities for me to understand you. Cannot hear your voice, cannot see your body. I have never opened up my YouTube and found you sharing. Now, of course, this is not, the teachings here are not about us understanding each other personally, but understanding each other through awareness, or through the absence of movement, or the absence of following thoughts. So it will be very difficult to make a connection here in what we're doing if you are not willing to make a connection with stillness, to make a connection with the absence of thoughts. Honey, can I have the hot water? I am open to understanding, but we have to share deeply to be able to understand. We have to share a lot, we have to give a lot to be able to understand each other. The show of life, I feel like you're mocking me. But it's not impossible for you to know where I am with my practice. Or maybe it is.
Akhilānanda Swarupa
Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha Brahmananda Swarupa Isha Jagadisha 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 Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha. So this is actually really kind of a rich pathfinding. The time of waking up in the morning and the body can feel tired, the mind can just be coming out of this dreaming state. And then we're going around, what are we going to do today? Where are we going to go? What are we going to eat? When are we going to have coffee? All these things. So it can be just a mess. It's like waking up to a mess and then getting busy making a mess. When we come into that, our sadhana, our meditation practice, whether it's yoga or what have you, this sense of stillness and collectedness and peace and bliss, I think it's difficult to recognize or even have an idea of peace and bliss when we're so fixated on pleasure and stimulation. Because this is like a pleasure of the mind. A pleasure that's not based in the body, not based in things and movement and getting. I had this experience with Shiva on his live stream yesterday, where he has some very strong wishes in his life for material success. I'm not sure what his thoughts are about that exactly, but it's very important to him. He's trying to work to be able to support himself. And I guess from my view, I do see a sense of brotherhood with Shiva, and I see a sense of sincerity, and I see a some wisdom in him. I do. I see some opening of his Dharma eye, let's say. And I was at this place where I was thinking about generosity and money and self-sacrifice, and we banter a lot, we kind of troll each other a lot, we play a lot. And I just took this plunge and said, okay, I'm gonna make a donation. I'm gonna cut through this personal ego dynamic, and I'm gonna practice self-sacrifice. I'm gonna practice generosity. And I sent him $100 on his live stream. And I could see that part of myself that was not, that was trolling him or playing with him or pretending and acting together with him, to get views and to get attention and to bring up energy. And I said, let me just cut through all that, because that clinging is there in me about money, about profit, about personal ownership. So let me practice giving that up and dropping any ideal about it at that moment. So that donation wasn't really for Shiva. That donation was for me, to practice self-sacrifice and to practice generosity. And I put in the tagline of that donation, generosity is more important than money. And it's really important for me in my spiritual life and my path moving forward that becomes established in my heart. That generosity is more important than money. And I think that goes into generosity is more important than profit. Generosity is more important than status. Generosity is more important than fame. Generosity is more important than pleasure. And I think for me, this is at the core of meditation, what allows real meditation to take place. And the interesting thing about generosity is that it's not about money. It doesn't have anything to do with money. It's very delicate because we're talking finances and profit, and kind of at the core of the ego, right, is our wealth and our power, etc. Our control. But it's maybe beyond my capacities to be fully detailed about what generosity entails. But before I sent Shiva that $100, I sent him a $1 donation, because he was saying, whenever somebody sends me a super chat, I'm going to go out into the ocean. So I just sent him $1. And for me, that wasn't generosity. What is $1? I'll burn dollar bills, I'll flush dollar bills down the toilet. It doesn't mean anything to me, $1 bill, $2, $5, $10. That's cheeseburger money. So it's something to think about. And when I look at the practice of meditation and having success in meditation, you have to give a lot. You have to sacrifice a lot. To get those deeper openings and deeper meditation experiences. I had this experience as well yesterday on my bike ride to because I bought a motorbike taxi to go to the arm wrestling match. And I love to listen to the spiritual music while I'm on the back of a motorbike, and feel the energy in the air and just, give some blessing, just sit on the back of the motorbike like this, and kind of in that way of giving. And I was listening to this chant, this Sadhguru chant. And when I was listening to this Sadhguru chant and meditating, listening very deeply, listening very closely, and in this bike ride, it was really interesting because when I listened to Sadhguru's voice, him as a meditation master, him as a guru, and just a beautiful kind of spiritual practice taking place, there's a trust and there's a faith in the purity of that. Like, Sadhguru doesn't want me to have a bad time. Sadhguru doesn't have anger or negativity towards me, But I could hear my mind, while I was listening to that deeply, my mind was bubbling up with like these negative emotions or these negative words. Like I was hearing demons, my inner demons. And the practice was actually to just let those voices come and go. To not believe in those thoughts, to not believe in those experiences, and to just keep listening. And to just keep being with that experiencing. Morning medicine. It is a vape. One of the ways that I've found a kind of some success or a good doorway for meditation in me, because the bodhisattva, or the archetype of enlightenment that I've most been aligned with in my life, is Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva of compassion. And it's said that the Bodhisattva of compassion is the Bodhisattva of listening, like pure listening, pure hearing. You're hearing with compassion. But I find in meditation that there's something really rich about the seeing with the eyes closed. Because, I watch a lot of videos and movies and TV shows. My whole life has been about, don't make me go to sleep, let me watch TV. Growing up, it was a real difficulty to go to sleep. And when I close my eyes and I look at that not seeing, and like that darkness, there's a wonder in that. There's a curiosity about that. There's an unknown in that. Because it's so undeniable how fixated and identified my ego is on seeing things, the things that I see. That person's skinny, that person's fat, that person's a child, that person is an adult, that person's beautiful, that person's unattractive sexually. And so in closing the eyes and just seeing, it really undeniably puts me into this state of intimacy with where my attachments are, with where my mind tends to go. Because there is like this constant sense of stress about what's next. Not just what's next today, because I don't just want to be, no arms, no legs, lobotomized, laying down and having to face my mind and face like total boredom and total non-freedom, or just sitting here and sweating in the heat. So there's this constant pressure of what's next. And then that breeds out into, or grows out into, like, what's next in my life? What's next month? What boundaries do I have for just being able to live the way that I want to live today, over the next days and the next days and the next days? And what this meditation seems to offer, this meditative way seems to offer, is a total absence of next. So in my practice of meditation, giving myself permission to drop what's next. Totally. cut out the DMV, cut out the lawyers, cut out the doctor's office, cut out the bills, cut out the relationships, cut out everything. So that I can just be peace. And I can just heal. And I can just nourish my being. There's a little crook in my back. I'm not a monk. So right now, this is the first time I've practiced like this. But I'm sitting here and listening deeply to the spiritual chanting. And I'm just letting my mind's attention go throughout the body. Go throughout all the different parts in the body. I'm noticing that there's something in my heart. There's something in my chest, like a pressure or a blockage or something in this region, but I'm letting my mind scan throughout my body and just notice anywhere that there is a tension or anything that stands out. Listening and exploring and letting my mind and that awareness interpenetrate the present state, the present experience of the body. The arms are good.
Swarupa
Isha Jagadesha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Mahesha Brahmananda Swarupa Isha Jagadesha Cheers. This is vegan coffee, by the way. This is vegan coffee. I'm vegan right now. I hope you're vegan right now, too. Even Ajahn Martin Piadamo himself is known to smoke cigarettes. When I went to meet him at his monastery, which is a great place to visit, he smoked a cigarette right in front of me while he was talking to me and giving me some time. That's wonderful. Congratulations, Tafini Scott. Very cool. Very cool. Matan is very cool when I met him. But, you know, fame is a killer. So I don't know how he's doing now. I was going to say before I spilled my coffee on myself that, you know, people may want to know how inadept I am at learning or memorizing, you know, things like that. Things that are very valued in the modern leadership and, success, like to be a lawyer. I've been living here for 2 months, and I only recently learned the button to the right is the one that turns on the light in the bathroom. The button to the left is the one that turns on the fan. So that's an aspect of my character, is a bit anti-learning. That was one of the original fallouts I had as a monk, because my original teacher, this is going way back, in ordaining in Thailand, was this monk called Ajahn Jack. And you have kind of the first thing you need to memorize as a monk is the blessing chant. Sapitiyo vivachantu saparoko vinasatu mape pawadana silicha ayu ano sukang baram. And that's the blessing chant that I've shortened, that's my version that I've memorized of it, but it's a longer chant for when the people in the streets give the donations to the monks in the monks' bowls. It's very beautiful. So anyways, I couldn't quite memorize that. And he, a way that they would go about, he probably trying to encourage me to memorize it. He was saying, this guy's been a monk for 2 weeks or a month or whatever, and he still hasn't memorized that chant. And then I didn't know what was going on when it happened, because he didn't speak English, so he was just speaking Thai when we had like a gathering of people or what have you. And then I said, well, now I'm definitely not going to memorize it. And that's there's a very deep trigger in me about rebelling against what I should do and what's expected of me. Now, I don't take that into ridiculous lengths, because I have respect for certain traditions and norms and things like that as well. I feel guilt, I feel shame. So now I know it's the one on the right. Yeah.
When I come for volunteering at IE program, my energy levels are very high. Even the same dishes when I wash at home, I don't feel the same energy level. How to make my home, my work, everything as an ashram?
You should give it all away to me. Really? Anyway, I'm not going to come and eat in your house every day. But in your mind, you must give it away. Because here you're doing it as an offering. It's a beautiful thing. There you're doing it as a chore. It's an ugly thing. Both the same work. It's just you. Isn't it? Same dishes, same work. Just you who can make it either miserable or joyful. So even what you do at home and office, why don't you do it as an offering? What's stopping you? I won't ask for you. I won't come and steal your salary. I won't come and eat your food. Why don't you just do it as an offering? It'll work beautifully. It'll work beautifully not only because your mindset has changed, above all you become receptive for grace. That's the most significant thing. That is the most important thing in your life, to become available to grace. If that one thing is not there, this is an uphill task. Uphill task. Quite an impossible task. I wouldn't say impossible, but torturous. If you go with grace, you glide effortlessly, joyfully. If you try to walk, then it is a very torturous journey.
Sadhguru, when I come for volunteering at IE program, my energy levels are very high. Even the same dishes when I wash at home, I don't feel the same energy level. How to make my home, my work, everything as an ashram?
You should give it all away to me. Really. Anyway, I'm not going to come and eat in your house every day. But in your mind, you must give it away. Because here you're doing it as an offering, it's a beautiful thing. There you're doing it as a chore, it's an ugly thing. Both the same work, it's just you, isn't it? Same dishes, same work, just you who can make it either miserable or joyful. So even what you do at home and office, why don't you do it as an offering? What's stopping you? I won't ask for you. I won't come and steal your salary. I won't come and eat your food. Why don't you just do it as an offering? It'll work beautifully. It'll work beautifully not only because your mindset has changed, above all you become receptive for grace. That's the most significant thing. That is the most important thing in your life, to become available to grace. If that one thing is not there, this is an uphill task. Uphill task. Quite an impossible task. I wouldn't say impossible, but torturous. If you go with grace, you glide effortlessly, joyfully. If you try to walk, then it is a very torturous journey.
Sadhguru, when I come for volunteering at IE program, my energy levels are very high. Even the same dishes when I wash at home, I don't.
This is the most popular place. 17% of the airport traffic is ours.
Because at the arm wrestling meetup yesterday, a lot of testosterone, as I'm sure you can imagine, but also a lot of strong guys. And when you are dealing with that certain level of strength in terms of practicing and training, you have to give a lot. And there's not much of an emphasis in that culture at that place at that time right now in giving a lot. You know, there's a lot of kind of winning, and then you get into being able to practice more deeply because everybody gets tired, and then you're working with these each other's tired things. But what arguably the best number one arm wrestler in the world right now would say is that the person who's stronger holds. You know, they kind of, you want to give as much as you can and let that other person get their work in. And in that way, you also get a lot of work in as well. But it's not about the winning. So just how untrained my muscles are, how rarely I use my muscles. I didn't get to do too much to burn myself out or to put myself in pain, which is a good thing. So I don't, the arms are tired, but not I don't have major elbow pain or anything like that, which can sometimes happen in that kind of training. Hello, Irikois. And to you as well.
It's already. And so that's a word that doesn't seem to live, basically, in the vocabulary of me, myself, and I, already. That word doesn't seem to live in the vocabulary of the dream of separateness, because it's always about not yet, or what will be, or I'm still here, or I'm still a me, or I'm still this way, still that, still now, still next, still. The word already, therefore, is one of my favourite words because it basically extinguishes, without compromise, the nature of
Words extinguished without compromise. Okay.
Do you see where the Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria?
So it's not about using the right words or adopting the right words. That has nothing to do with it. There's no right word. Replace already with poop or with potatoes.
Trauma is not what happened to you. It's what happened inside of you as a result of what happened to you. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse of children, neglect, a parent being addicted, a parent dying, a parent being jailed, poverty or racism. These are big T traumatic events that can wound kids.
I had a wildly traumatic birth. I got rushed to emergency surgery.
Oh gosh.
And lost 2.5 liters of blood.
Oh gosh.
And they sent Sawyer home with Chris. They kept me in the hospital, and by the time I went home, I had severe postpartum depression. She's recently gone into therapy, and one of her visions is a vision that she has where she's in her crib.
Yeah.
And she really wants me to come.
Yeah.
And it's my husband, and then it's my mother, and then it's my mother-in-law, and then it's my friend Joni that would sit with me.
I think it is. I think it is intention, and we cannot speak to someone else's intention. It's not possible. It doesn't make any sense. It's like farting for someone else. We can't share that. So your intention is your intention. My intention is my intention. My body and mind is my body and mind. Your body and mind is your body and mind. You know, this is a kind of absolute law. So that's why you don't go on a kind of warfare or crusade about this person's right, this person's wrong, etc. And it just creates a big mess that tends to perpetuate wrong intentions or unskillful intentions. That's why you don't see spiritual teachers, you know, people who are really have a deep spiritual position going around and debating with other people. Doesn't mean that you can't do that if the conditions arise, that you can't have a conversation or that you can't challenge. But someone who's really have their spiritual position, you know, they have a lot of individuation. So there's not some kind of invested focus on whether someone else is right or wrong, or true or not true. Should be next week, should be next Sunday, unless I'm in the meditation retreat, which I may be in the meditation retreat. I don't know how to feel about that moon angel Mimi, saying that I'm handsome. This is not a sexual space. This is not a space that's focused on people's physical or sexual attractiveness. So, and please, dear friends, if you're looking for something to nourish yourself, please check out Gabor Mate. He's wonderful, beautiful man, one of the most beautiful men in the world, and very rich spirituality and path and heart and intellect. So please, if you have some intellectual hunger in your spiritual work and stuff like that, please listen to Gabor Mate. He's really good, really rich. And practice that nourishing yourself in a more all-inclusive way. So it doesn't need to be that you put yourself into a wooden box and then put on the screen the Dharma talk and then, hypnotize yourself or torture yourself in listening. If you're in a situation where you're just kind of going about your day, well, then go about your day, and you can bring some wisdom into that as well. You can bring some richness into that as well. We should all live a rich life in this time, concerned with the mind. I've met the number 1 and number 2 arm wrestlers in the world. I've shaken their hands. I've held their hands. Arguably the number 1 and number 2. Good. It's a good hunger to have. It's one of the best hungers to have. But if you're very hungry, you better be careful what you eat as well, because you can get a stomach ache.
Song of the Skin Bag. The Skin Bag Lament. Before the empty eon, it had no name or shape. Since Buddha awesome sound, a hindrance it has been. "360 joints connect the body's frame. Its every inch is covered by 84,000 pores. One of the triad of primal forces.
Now, one of the very difficult for people to get or to understand when it comes to listening to the spiritual teachings, which can bring up a lot of frustration, is that the listening here is a silence. We're not getting caught up or getting involved with the appearances of what's taking place or what's going on or what's being said or I understand this, I don't understand this. The teachings are not about you understanding this or you not understanding this. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Because what's being spoken from, and thereby what's being spoken to, is a kind of deeper mind that's not based in our intellectual understandings, confirming thoughts, confirming and rejecting thoughts. It's not political, so we have to make our decision about what we agree with or what we don't agree with. Just a matter of great listening, true listening.
In my book, Awake, It's Your Turn, I promise that you can wake up from the dream of separation. And this whole awakening process has different phases, different landmarks to it. But the point at which the illusion of separation completely drops is non-dual, formless non-dual, or boundless non-dual realization. And so some of these videos, I point you directly to that. So understand that if there hasn't been any shift in identity, this may be a bit obscure, but it's certainly valuable to do the inquiry with me or investigate in the way we're going to talk about in this video. But just know that you almost certainly won't just have this sudden shift into non-duality without any kind of previous insight. Could happen, anything could happen, but if you're interested in earlier awakening type pointing, check out my playlist, Awakening Approaches. So when we're talking about non-dual, not two, non-duality, meaning not two, it's literally that. Just not two, not three.
So the not two, this is a little bit of a difference between this kind of Neo-Advaita Vedanta or modern Adyashanti informed spirituality, is that in this thing they say not two, not two, not two, kind of implying just one or whatever they're implying. In the Zen or in the Chan, or concerned with the truth of ever new, impermanent, original nature, the Buddha Dhamma, it's not two, it's not one. Not two, not one either. One. It's ridiculous.
Not 4, not 10, not 20, not 1,000, not a million, not a billion.
Not one.
Meaning multiplicity itself is seen through.
And so what is one?
So what is it like to live in a world without multiplicity?
What is a one? One is a thing. So not two is just a practice methodology, invitation to practice. But it's not a insight, not a wisdom teaching, not the highest wisdom teaching, not two. This guy, he should go and get the initiation for the Sadhguru Foundation, okay? Not another one, right? It's just not another one, right? Not two. Better not be three. So, okay, Angelo, okay. But He responded to me. He said we were going to have a meeting. Then he says we're going to reschedule. Come on. I've earned it. I've earned it. Adi Ashanti. Let's see what Adi Ashanti has to say. I'm not coming for you, Angelo. I'm coming for your teacher now. Uh-oh. Adi Ashanti.
The transcendent movement is often a movement of I'm in pain or I'm in sorrow and I want to just wake up. I want to get away from this pain and sorrow. I want to wake up and out of what's causing me so much pain. That's often, not always, but that's often what helps motivate the letting go of the world of form. But to come into the world of form, for spirit to pour itself back into the world of form, metaphorically, of course, that's an act of love. That's an act of love. And love is an act of absolute inclusion.
Yeah, there's something that stands out to me about this sense of trying to convince. So the great masters that I've followed, that I've like identified as my gurus, like my high gurus, there's no element of trying to convince in them in a spiritual way, because you can't convince in a spiritual way. You can't convince someone to practice properly. But it's very subtle. And I think this notion that you can try to convince someone to practice properly is something that gets broken down at the higher levels. You might try to convince someone to do good things, to do good deeds, to walk on the path. But you wouldn't try to convince someone to get insight. So it seems like when those two things they seem to be intermeshed. Where you're trying to convince someone to get insight, that it's possible for someone to get insight that's problematic. That's immature. Something immature about that. And then that leads to all kinds of inability to cooperate and communicate with others, and just becoming more kind of solidified about your method, your approach, your understanding. No, I don't. It's ridiculous. But I do expect to live long enough to other shit. I listened to Jim's talk, just a few minutes of Jim's talk. I love the guy, but I think that there's some confused principles and practices that he's starting with. But we can listen. Jim's my favorite non-duality guy.
So welcome. So if you don't know where you landed, this is a meeting about non-duality.
That's fair.
And I do pay attention to like what people are calling non-duality. And it does occur often. The question comes, if there is non-duality, of course it's not a thing, isn't that the end of it? Because it has to include everything. everything has to be included. If it's not two, that's everything. Well, that's the end of it, isn't it? There's nowhere to go with that. If there were an individual or something separate that could find it, then it wouldn't be truly not two. It'd be not 2 plus 1. And that one would have immense opportunity.
Yeah, he's too advanced for me, I think. For me to really apply discernment, unless he was inviting me to do so. But I'll get there. Look how old he is. He's old. I'm young. So by the time I'm his age, if I survive, it's okay to be bald. Monks are bald, and monks are great. What would the world be without monks?
Before I became a monk, I used to be a model and actor.
From the runway and silver screen to a quiet life, there's been many twists and turns in Dom Patch's 22 years.
Pick it up, then drop it down low. I've done many movies, a lot of runways, international modeling in New York, and TV shows.
But after a lot of thinking, the Melbourne-born star has decided it's time to step out of the spotlight.
I sort of cultivated a very unhealthy lifestyle. I used to be a very chaotic person, and I thought, this is it. If I become a monk, maybe I could find some answers that would enrich me to really understand what your purpose is in this world and what your goals are. Now I know what my goals are. It's just a matter of action.
And he has a message for followers old and new.
To give loving kindness to everyone. What goes around comes around. Before I became a monk, I used to be a model and actor.
From the runway and silver screen to a quiet life, there's been many.
Is that an Aussie or a Zealander? Sounds like a Zealander to me. If you are present, I am always present. All your life and beyond. Even after I leave my body, I will still be present. And it can be quite hard to not be jealous about these characters and these people. You know? Because maybe the masculine side takes it one way, the feminine side takes it another way. But I mean, look at this guy. You kidding me? He's got a staff, he's got a beard, he's at Mount Kailash. Look at those clothes that he's wearing. There's nothing synthetic there. So that's maybe one of the things that we have to look at about this want to possess the spiritual energy or spiritual power or spiritual experience. We want to be the spiritual person, or we want to be the wealthy person, or we want to be the leader. You know, we want to be the one who's in charge. We want to be the one who's in the know.
Could you do a guided meditation with us?
2 minutes?
Sure.
A few months ago, after knowing Eckhart Tolle for a while and studying the books, I woke up and I suddenly got it. How thought was just an illusory thing, and how thought is responsible for, if not all, most of the suffering we experience. And then I suddenly felt like I was looking at these thoughts from another perspective. And I wondered, who is it that's aware that I'm thinking? And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing feeling of freedom from myself, from my problems. I saw that I was bigger than what I do. I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone. I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe. And ever since that day, I've been trying to get back there. It comes and it goes. It's like riding a wave. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But at least I know where I want to go. And that I want to take as many people with me as I possibly can, because the feeling is amazing. A few months ago,
So there's Sadhguru was talking about this. You want to get to that place, or you want to get free. You want to get this ultimate experience, you know, where everything is wonderful. And that you can either do that by two ways. You can do that by relying on grace or the truth, the alreadiness of the way, or you can try to fight to get that. So as Sadhguru said, it's not impossible to fight to get that, but it's torturous. Truly, truly torturous. So are we willing to be tortured? Then if not, we have to develop our relationship with grace. And then that all of this is the most practical human endeavor that could possibly exist. So we have to digest the bitterness of practicality in being free. High and open mind. And then we have this.
heard of Vivekananda? He's the first yogi who came to this country in 1893 and made a little bit of waves in those days. So he also went to Europe on his way back from United States and happened to be a guest of a German philosopher. And after dinner they met in the study and they were discussing this and that, and there was a large book on his table which was over 700 pages. So Vivekananda said, because the man was speaking very highly about the book, he said, "Can you give me that book for an hour? Let me see what is there in it." That man laughed. He said, "In 1 hour you're going to read this book? I have been reading it for weeks and not getting anywhere because it's so complex. And that too, it's in German language. You don't even know the language. What will you do with it in an hour?" Vivekananda said, "You give it to me for an hour, let me see." So the book was given to him. He took the book and placed it between his two hands and just sat there with his eyes closed. After 1 hour, he took the book and gave it to him and said, "This doesn't have anything significant in it." That man thought, this is the peak of arrogance. You don't even open the book and you make a comment about the book, a book which is in a language that you do not know. So he was a little put off by this and he says, "What is this nonsense?" Vivekananda said, "You ask me anything about the book, I'll tell you." Okay, in page 633, what is there? Verbatim, Vivekananda repeats. You ask any page, just number the page, he will tell you what is there word by word on every page. Then he asked, "How is this? You didn't even open the book. How is this possible?" He said, "That's why they call me Vivekananda." Viveka means perception. His name is Narendra. His guru called him Vivekananda because of his ability to perceive. So he said, "That's why I'm called Vivekananda." So perception of life is not, you cannot all process it through your logical mind. It doesn't work like that because logic will filter out so much of your life without which you cannot live. You heard of Vivekananda?
For a long time, people have been saying, "I believe in God." But from there we have descended to a place, "I believe in myself." Believing in anything is bad enough. Believing in yourself is a total disaster. Because you must understand the word belief. It's all connected to this courage, confidence stuff. See, how many of you believe that you have two hands? All such people just raise one hand, please. One will do. Okay. Do you believe that you have two hands or do you know that you have two hands? You know that you have two hands, isn't it? Suppose somebody starts an overwhelming argument with you that you have no hands, and if their argument becomes too overwhelming, one slap in the face, he knows you got hands. But you believe in God, you believe in something else, so many other things you believe. Why? Because you're still not straight enough to admit what I do not know as I do not know. I do not know is a tremendous possibility. Only when you see I do not know, the possibility of knowing and the seeking towards that knowing and the pursuit of wanting to know will begin to happen within you, and the possibility of knowing can become realized one day if your pursuit is right. But everything that you do not know, you believe. You can call this belief or you can just call it bullshit, okay? Because you're making up things. People do not know what the hell is happening within themselves or around themselves, but they know the entire geography of heaven. I don't understand, if they know the place so well and it's so fantastic, why they're not gone? Yes? See, they're always talking about a fantastic place elsewhere. They must be gone. Why are they waiting here? No, because when it comes to real things, they know it's all bullshit. But on a daily basis, they carry it on. For a long time, people… This is being done by an expert cook. Don't try this at home all by yourself, it could be dangerous. These are not crackers for Diwali, this is just Indian cooking. I was to visit the construction sites and various other things in the ashram, but it's a very wet day, so I decided I'll do some Indian cooking. Looking at the quantity, don't think I'm going to eat all this. Having a few guests at home today. It's a rainy day, so all we can do is eat and talk. So I thought I'll treat them, surprise them a bit with some amount of cooking. This is the kind of cooking which needs your involvement every moment. It's not something that you can set it up and forget about it. That is why it has the power to enslave you through your tongue. Well, once they eat my cooking, they will be in love with me for sure. Well, this is my own unique masala. Sorry, I can't give you the taste through the video. Here we are, making some naan.
So there you have it.
First question, what is the best gift? What is the best gift?
To give to somebody or to receive?
Any. Give one for both.
Huh?
Give one for both.
I'm sorry?
Give and one to take.
Oh. Clarity is the best gift to receive. And the best to give also, because once you have clarity, you will see it is of highest value to you. And you would love to have people around you also who have some clarity. So even if you give clarity to other people, it is not a gift to them, it's a gift to yourself. Because having people with some clarity around you is the greatest gift that you can have living in the world.
Biggest sorrow?
I don't know, because I've never had one. And can I make it little dirty? Okay, because you wanted it sweet, so on. See, what is a joy, what is a sorrow, is completely your psychological drama. If you are the director of your psychological drama, would you want a joyful drama or a miserable drama? Joyful. If you have left your drama…
Now, this is one of the very important aspects and spiral dynamics, is that you don't have any control over tomorrow, let alone 5 minutes from now. It's not possible. So if you want to be the director of your own mind, you have to sit behind the camera. You have to sit on the director's seat. And the director's seat is in nowness. So your thoughts about what you could do today, where you could go today, are nonsense. Irrelevant nonsense. No wonder you're suffering. You're trying to direct that which isn't in your experience. Come home to breathing. Come home to your sadhana, to your samaya, to your practice, to your way of awareness. And all of that energy that seems to be accumulated or collected or owned, that is to be given away, to be surrendered, so that you can have access to grace instead of access to the responsibility of management, which of course will be a burden. So you make not your home in ashram, you come home to the ashram of now. You stay there. You live there, you breathe there, you see there, you hear there. That mind that's going out, going over there, either cut it or bring it home. Bring it back. There's nothing to comment about it or do about it. Practice it. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid. I am free, etc. And when you see, when you experience that you're not taking this seriously, that you're just hanging out, that's where anger comes in, that's where greed comes in, that's where delusions come in, that's where a lack of clarity comes in. So you, as Master Yong Hua would say, you cross your leg, cross your legs. If you have one leg, cross one leg. If you have both legs, cross two legs, and arrive. Arrive to your movie set. Arrive to your reality home. And direct. You want to feel sorrow or you want to feel joy?
Joyful. If you have left your drama uncontrolled, then so many things are happening and you think they're real. Your sorrow and your joy, both made up by you. So if you're making it up consciously, you enjoy tragedies, please enjoy, what's my problem? But whether you go through misery or through joy, it's your psychological drama, isn't it? Your psychological drama should be conducted by you and only you. Nobody else but you must direct your psychological drama, isn't it? Other people may decide a few things that happen around us. Nobody should decide what happens within me. The moment somebody can decide what happens within you, you are into a deep level of slavery.
we
I have three announcements. This Sunday, we will celebrate Buddha Enlightenment Day. So you all invite to come this Sunday at 10 a.m. in the morning. So we start at 10 a.m. in the morning this Sunday. Usually we recite in Vietnamese, and we offer the light, the candle. And then there's a Vietnamese Dharma talks and also a English Dharma talks. And we have free vegetarian lunch. You can come and enjoy our vegetarian lunch. That's for this Sunday. The second announcement, on February 28th, we have one day for retreat. If you want to join us on retreat on February the 28th from 9 until 4, So there's a sign up sheet up there. You can sign up. So it's your opportunity to come one day retreat, meditation, Dharma talks, and awareness, observe your mind. So you can sign up on the there. So be one day. It's called silent meditation. One day, 7-8 hours. You don't talk. You just meditate. We provide free vegetarian lunch at 11:40. So I will hand out the schedule. If you are available, to come and join us to practice one day self retreat. The third announcement, I have a sheet for if some of you want to take the precept, you can sign up, and I will schedule sometime in February to take the precept ceremony. That's the 3 things, and there's some information on there. Okay, everybody okay? Any question? So come this Sunday, celebrate with us. So tonight we continue on the 3 door of liberation. Last time we talked about emptiness, right? So the second is we call the door of liberation is called sightlessness. It means formlessness. And generally, when you understand the concept of emptiness, you are able to understand of formlessness or sightlessness. Sign, when we see an object, everything in this world is a sign, right? Just like, for example, me, I have a sign of me, right? This body, the 4 elements, earth, water, fire, and air. So I am temporarily borrow this body, right? For temporarily, that's it here. That's an example of form, right? So when you look deeply the form, and then in that form is formlessness, what we call the sightlessness. Just like we have a sign, everything have a sign, right? You, the bell, the flower, when you look deeply, right? So when we look deeply, understand the concept of emptiness, you will able to understand the concept of sightlessness. Because silentness is form without will disappear. Your attachment will disappear. Your suffer, your stress, your anxiety, your fear will disappear. Because most of us, we anxiety, fear, attachment because we think this is form, this body is forever, right? But you look back, this is your body is forever. You only borrow 30, 40, 50, 100, maximum probably 100, right? So every day we borrow form to nurture our body. What do we borrow? Bread, meat, lettuce, spaghetti, pizza. We borrow all those things. Orange, apple, right? We borrow all this form. Everybody borrow the air, right? You breathe it in, means you borrow the air in. The action. Imagine if you borrow in, you don't want to let it out, then what? Then what? You will die. We will call 911 right now, right? Right? So when you think back deeply, we borrow every moment, every second. Right? So inside this form, this emptiness. Without emptiness, we cannot borrow. Right? So when you look deeply, what the computer made of? 0 and what? Everybody remember? 0 and 1. That's 1 is form, 0 is emptiness. You see that? Even the computer have form and emptiness. It worked on 0 and 1. Before a fish drum is a wood, is a tree, and then we just got the carpenter, he carve it and he do it, and he make the sound we use to make a sound, what we call a fish drum. It looks like a fish, right? So why do we call this a fish drum? Because we temporarily name it, right? Fish, it looks like a head of a fish. Because depend on your ability, your favor. Some people favor math, some people favor English, some people favor of art, or whatever, right? So each person is unique, that they like what they like. The more you like that subject, the better you will what? You learn, right? If you don't like something and your mom, your dad force you to learn, then you what? You get mad, you get grouchy, you get upset, right? So that's why when we look deeply, the fish drum, we temporarily call it fish drum, right? But when we burn, we cremate, we chop it out. I borrow have to be earth. You have to borrow earth mean like food. You have to borrow water. You drink water every day, right? And then you borrow the air. You breathe it in the moment right now. You breathe in all the time. Mean you borrow in. You borrow earth, water, fire, and air. Fire means the warmth, the temperature warm your body. Imagine a couple of days ago in Jacksonville, it's under 25. When this body is sick, it's know it's sick. You have to get medicine or get something, right? When it's get healthy, it's no. So our body is automatic. The true nature is automatic by itself, right? But in that body form, the earth, water, fire, and air, what we call form. But when we look deeply, this form is formlessness, right? This body formlessness, without formlessness, there's emptiness, right? So without emptiness, we will not exit in the moment. See a lot of form. A lot of form is our thought arise. We think in mom, dad, whatever, bill or whatever, money, treasure, whatever arise in your mind, food, right? That's considered a form. But when that thought disappear, because thought come and go, right? The thought is never stay with you forever, right? For example, if you get angry someone, right? Then a thought arise of anger. And then when you sit, the more you sit, you calm your mind, the anger will what? Disappear, right? So when you look deeply, angry, stress, anxiety, fear, all just a thought. So when you recognize your thought, right, is the thought come play with you, right? Sometimes we are afraid of something, then afraid of thought arise. So the afraid of thought arise is will come and then will what? Disappear. You see that? But the true nature is the watcher, the seer. See thought come and go. That the seer is what? Is drawn to try to suppress the thought. But when you try to suppress, the thought will come back again. Only if you meditate. The meditate is a manner help you to overcome the thought arise in your mind. Because when we use our wisdom and to see the true nature of the thought is emptiness, then the thought will disappear. If you still attach to that thought, whatever thought arise in your mind, fear, anxiety, stress, you have uncomfortable feeling in your mind, if you're not able to see true nature of those thought, then that thought will come again, come back aware. That's why one of the Zen masters say, the main thing is meditation is not afraid of thought. The main thing is you have to see what is thought look like, right? So thought, the true nature is thoughtless. Just like the true nature of form is formless. You see what I'm saying? So when you understand the nature of thought and thoughtless, then you go back your true nature. What is your true nature? Is your awareness, your alert, your sharp, your calmness, your peace, right? Your happiness. Because all this thought try to control you because you have too much attachment. In the Diamond Sutra, last time we talked about the attachment of self, the attachment of other people, right? The attachment of all phenomena. Phenomena, here is the house, the building, the flower, the money, whatever you call, your house, your wife, right? And the last one is attachment, the lifespan. That's the fourth thing that we attachment. So the more you attachment, the more you what? You will be suffer. The lesser you attachment, the lesser you suffer. So when we meditate, we look back, why do I suffer? Because I have a lot of attachment, right? The more you attachment, the more you suffer. You don't have to believe me, you can watch, you see, right? To able to understand your mind. So the second door help you to understand the first door, right? That's why the first door is emptiness. So when you understand the first door of emptiness, then the second door is silenceless, formlessness. So the inside the formlessness is the same as emptiness. So that's why we have a third door, aimlessness. So next week we talk about aimlessness. These three doors are what? Are interchanged. It connect together. It's not separate, right? So when you understand the first door, you're able to understand the second and third door. So because we label, the Buddha label three doors is to help you to understand the first door, the second door, the third door. But actually, they are the same door, right? They are not 1, 2, or 3. We just label it, we just temporary to you to understand. But the true nature is no door. If you have no door, then you are liberation. Just like you come to this building, you come the door, the front door, right? But actually, you can go, imagine this building have no door, then what? You can go any door. There's no door means no gate, no emptiness, right? So we only temporarily use the first door, second door, the main door, we only use for temporarily. But one imagine this building collapse, right? The four wall of clap it down, is destroyed, then actually there's no door, right? So when we use the door term is to help you to understand temporarily. But you have to go to the concept of doorlessness. So when you understand the doorlessness, you will be able to understand the emptiness, the silenceless, and the aimlessness, right? Everybody okay here? So the more you contemplate, the more you meditate and you watch your thought, but actually your thought have no door, right? In general, we say that our mind have 6 doors, our body have 6 doors. The ear, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. We just temporarily use these 6 doors, but the true nature of our mind is no door. So when you understand your concept of your mind is no door, your body, right? Your body like space. That's why when a person meditate, when they go deep, meditation without thought, without form, will be formless. Their body is like space, expand, infinity. You don't use this body, this form, small body anymore. But actually you use your universe body. That's why the Buddha say, when he able to enlightenment, he see the universe so body, not this form. If you attach to this form, then you can borrow 30 or 40 or 50 years. You have to let this body go, right? So when we cremate our body, when we die, we cremate our body, we have no more door, right? And the true nature of the door is your mind, your awakened mind. So that awakened mind helps you to what? To overcome your suffer, overcome your fear, overcome your problem, whatever problem in the moment you have. If you understand this concept, then the problem will disappear by itself. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fight with your mind, right? The more you fight, your mind will fight back to you, right? So that is the concept help you to understand of silenceless to able to liberation. Here we use the door of liberation is we free our mind. Free our mind here is mean free all your thought, don't attachment. Everybody's listen to music. Is free your mind. It's very good music. You can listen it. Sometimes my music help you to understand the meaning of your mind. Free your mind here means you do whatever you like to do. It's not like that. Free your mind here means you have free your angry, free your anxiety, free your fear, free all attachment in your mind. Right? You don't attach. All the thought will not control you anymore. Right? So when you understand the term free your mind here, means you free all your thought, free your ego, free your attachment, free your anxiety, free of your fear. So when you have all this free, right, free mind, then you are truly yourself. And you are truly yourself is you are the universe. You like space. That's why one of the Zen masters say that when he meditates, he used the space as his body. He don't use this four element anymore. He used the space as his body. So even tiger, whatever animals, big snake come, try to attack him, they cannot attack him because he used his body is like space. So how can a tiger or a snake attack him, right? So his mind is free of what? Free of fear. Most of us, we have fear of something. That's why the other animal will attack us. For example, if you come here, if you're afraid, then candy will bug you. If you just calm and sit, candy come and what? And lick you. You see that? That's the secret of dog. The more you're afraid of dog, the more what? They will try to attack you. Like ghosts, monsters, same thing. If you're afraid of ghosts, they know you're afraid, they come and get you. But you are not afraid, then what? They will come and get you, right? So the true nature is our mind have to be strong, wisdom, understand, calmness. The more you calm, like the circumstance around you, the animals or whatever around you, they will calm down. They will able to engulf your peace, your love, your compassion. Then they will less attack you, right? Okay, I will stop here. Do you have any question, comment? Everybody okay? So you can come this Sunday to celebrate with us the Buddha Enlightenment Day. Anybody have a question? Anybody? No question, comment? Everybody okay? Okay, we recite the ending vows and try to let you go. Living being unnumberable, I vow to say them all. I fluxen or endless, I vow to read them all. The Dharma taught uncountable, I vow to study them all. The Buddha ways in itself, I vow to attain it. I vow that the merit and virtue from this will go away and reach everyone, so that all of us and all living beings will realize the Buddha ways. Okay, thank you very much, and happy TGIF. Enjoy your wonderful weekend.